This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hey there, it's Michelle, and I want to help you to live an epic story lifestyle. So, I'd like for you to do me a favor. Go over to epicstorylifestyle.com/live life to grab a free copy of my Hacks for Living an Epic Story Lifestyle checklist. Thanks.
You are listening to Epic Story Lifestyle. Here comes the chief storyteller herself, Michelle Spiva.
Hey, JR, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I heard something very interesting right before we get on here, and I feel like spilling the beans, but I won't. But it's about time is all I'm going to say.
You guys, I'm going to tell you, we have just as much fun when we're not recording as we do when we are. Well, JR, I'm excited, and I want to just get into this because this is really cool. And I want to talk about, now I've titled this, When the Magic is Real. Mwah. Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a Barry White song.
Hello, baby. When the magic is real. You know. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about, I just did a show talking about the private life of romance writers. And I was surprised that people would even want to hear me talk about that kind of stuff because I think it's quite boring. But then I was at an event, and the power, I should say, that we hold over, and I don't want to say hold over, the power that we wield, that's what I want to say, in the hearts and minds of the readers is extremely powerful to the point of magic. You know, if I were to say, if I were to be asked, do you believe in magic? Is magic real? I would have to definitely say, yes, it is. There is this transcendent quality that happens in the realm of entertainment that is purely magical. Case in point, there was this Live Aid concert. I want to say it was in 1984. And Freddie Mercury, lead singer for Queen, was alive at the time, and he was the headliner on stage. And I think you can still find it on YouTube. I'm not sure, but it's like 11 minutes long. And he starts singing, and you can actually see, if you're looking for it, well, you don't even have to look for it because it's so powerful, but you can see when he connects with this wave of people, because it's not a crowd, it's a wave. It's like tens of thousands of people, just a sea of them. And he almost behaves like a puppeteer, because he has them raise their hands, he has them do all this stuff, and it's as if he has this invisible arm that animates this wave of people. And I watched it, and I was like, this is magic. This is magic. And it lives in our ability to entertain others. I see how people can get on a stage. They can be totally different in their private persona. You know, have you seen like the really shy folk, and then they get on stage and they become a totally different person?
Yeah.
Have you seen, that to me is the magical transformation of what happens when we connect in this realm of the great what ifs. And it's not just in music, and that was the thing that was the big eye opener for me. It's in the power of the word, whether it's written, spoken, sang. It's in the power of the visual, whether it's painted or moving pictures, aka movies, or whether it is real life movement of roller coaster rides and entertainment that way. But it is so powerful that I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I really want to talk about this for our Epic Story Lifestyle folks, because it is a free for all. Anybody can take advantage of this. Did you realize that?
I do now.
Yes, you do. Like, for instance, if you go to a party, there is a reason why they say that the social people are the quote unquote life of the party. And that is because they hold this magical power to keep people there. When I was talking about the private life of romance writers, and I was talking about how our job is to keep that person riveted to every word we spin, so much so that they can't even go to the bathroom until we're ready for them to go. You know, JR, I actually do that. I actually, when I'm writing, depending on what I want to happen. So for instance, if I want them to get through a certain part of my book, there are ways I open and close a chapter to give them no bathroom breaks. I want them doing a pee-pee dance. I want their heart pounding. And I want them saying, oh, I know I got to go to work in 5 hours, just 30 more minutes. And then, oh, I know I got to go to work in 3 hours, just 20 more minutes.
Nice.
And you know, I'm going to say it is a lovely thing. Now, okay, people, do not use your power for evil. Okay? Don't do that. But magic is all around us, and most people think it is about controlling the elements and the nature, the power of nature. Do you know that like I said, magic is available for anyone? When you say things like something as simple as, I will do X, Y, and Z, the fact that you have said it gets your whole body ready to perform it. The mind doesn't really know the difference between what is real and what is imagined if it is posited in such a way that the emotions can support it. So when I want to entertain someone, I do things like I create a world that's both enjoyable and easy to be in, but also intriguing and provocative. Because I want that wonder. I want to reconnect that person with the great what ifs. When I want to make sure that I wave my wand and keep them in a suspension of my universe, I keep a fine mixture, if you will, an apothecary of words. That's what I'm going to say. That I apply in the right amounts to keep them. You know, there is a way to turn a phrase that keeps a person engaged without the phrase causing them to stop. And I relish that because that's true magic. And then I look at the fact that I'm nothing special. I am not imbued with powers of witchcraft, wiccanry, or whatever. I mean, you know, some people might want to call me a witch, but it might start with a B. But, you know, as far as I know, I don't have any super magical powers, and yet I see it. So, for instance, I got this wonderful comment on my website for my books. And if you're new, I write romance books. And this person, she wrote and she said, "Darn you," with an exclamation point. And I kept reading. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. She said, "My whole weekend has been ruined by you." And I'm not reading it. I'm just paraphrasing what she said. She said, "I started on one of your books to give it a try." She said, "It is now Sunday night. I have not washed clothes, gotten anything done because I have now read 4 of your books in this series."
Wow.
Yes. I was like, yes, magic. Now get this, JR. Now you really want to know what I love about this?
Tell me.
I don't know that woman. I wouldn't be able to pick her out if a person offered me $1 billion, and yet and still my magic worked on her. It's a powerful thing, and magic is real, y'all. It is real. So now let me tell you how you turn it in to everyday epic living, because not everybody is a romance writer, not everybody is a singer, right?
Right.
You know, and I don't want this to just be like they're like, oh, that works for her but not for us. Okay, so this is how you do it. When you want to enact magic in your life, in the lives of people around you, what you have to do, and I've actually taught this for how I teach people how to start writing. I call them the 4 I's. All right, I like the letter I, not the I like you see. 4 I's. First, you want to invite them. You taking notes, JR? No, just playing.
I know this one. Now, this is one that you taught me a while back. I'm surprised you haven't shared it till now.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. You want to invite them into your world. How do you invite them? If you're in person, invite them with a smile. Now, don't be glaring at them and showing your tonsils, but invite them in with a smile and a hello or whatever. The next thing you want to do is you want to initiate them. So, initiating them could be and should be a common agreement on the words you're going to use. If you want to work this magic and the person you're talking to is being formal with you, you start off being formal with them. And that seems like common sense, but you would be surprised. So like for instance, if JR and I didn't know each other and we met for the first time and he wanted to work his magic on me, he is most likely going to say something like, smile, how are you, Miss Spiva? Or how are you, Michelle, if he feels like it's okay to call me by my first name. He is not going to do what has happened to me many times. And JR, this is a pet peeve, so I'm about to go off on a slight rabbit trail real quick, but I'm going to get back on.
Okay.
People who don't know me have not earned the right to talk to me, introduce themselves, and call me girlfriend. I am not your girlfriend. That is not a cool term that shows that you're down with me. Please call me what my mother named me.
Nice.
That is how instead of getting indoctrinated, you get branded as ignorant. So
You've been warned.
So you've been warned. And that's not just me, just anybody. You want to initiate. You want to initiate them in. You want to make it where you're like them. They are comfortable around you. The next thing you want to do after you have started with your invitation and your initiation by, agreeing to the type of language you're going to use, the next thing you want to do is you want to indoctrinate them. This is when you've been conversating with them for a little bit. You can start to test the water by throwing in words that are going to be special between you all. Our own little special kind of conversation. And when I say words, it can be a way you say a phrase or how you do it that makes them feel like, yes, this is mano a mano between you and me, or you and I. Okay? So you want to indoctrinate them. And then, now this is the one that people mess up on. I have people that naturally do the first 3 with no problem. And the last one is where they mess up, and there is no magic. There is just a big old fail with an L loser on your forehead. You want to impress them. And when I say impress them, you want to entertain them and leave them better than you found them. And the biggest way you do that is to not perform, but to seek to understand and search out their magnificence. When you seek to understand them, use their name, understand what they're saying, repeat it back to them even. And I know a lot of this is what we would call common sense or the art of conversation, but it is also, and I'm about to get to my big reveal, because I had a big reveal, you guys. I was so excited about this. I have a big reveal and I'm getting to it. This is where you start to see the power of the grimoire. Most people, when they think about magic, they think about spells and casting spells and all of that. And do you know that what they're really talking about is just language? Grammar, grimoire, all of those live in the same realm of the ability to cast a spell. For that person who is able to use their actions in conjunction with their spoken word, you can lull someone, you can incite them, you can seduce them, you can inspire them. There are so many different things you can do, and therein lies the power. When you seek to impress them, that is the enchantment. That's the snake charm that goes on, because you've got them. And as you keep continuing to impress them, like, JR, when we talk, and you know what we do? We have a protracted time of impressing each other with how we interact in our conversation. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure.
That's magic. And people, I'm telling you, if you want to have an epic story lifestyle, where you can sit back and say, remember that time when we had to do X, Y, and Z, and I talked that person into doing X, Y, and Z? That's where it comes from. Simple little things that, like this. Like, first of all, you have to believe that magic is real. You have to believe that it is for anybody to wield. Use it for good. And then invite people in. Initiate them into your world and how this interaction is going to be. One thing I didn't say that I should have said with the initiation process is that you make a promise. Make a promise of what they're going to experience with you. So when I smile at you, I use your name and I say something fun or witty, I'm making you a promise that this is going to be an enjoyable time. When you indoctrinate them, continuously make it where it is enjoyable, escalating it higher and higher in their level of enjoyment. And then you start impressing them so that they will continue to want more and more and more, because they don't want more of you, darlings. They want more of the experience. And when you want to experience and activate real magic, you do it by the portal of your word, of your entertainment, and the experience. And so I know that you're like, okay, yeah, that's fine for you. But I'm telling you, it's for any person. All you got to do is do a little practice and you will be amazed. I was talking to someone this week that has to interview for a new job. And this has been a laborious task in that they have already been through 5 interviews, phone, conference, and then like a kind of Skype thingy. And they still have to go back for in-person interviews, another round of interviews this week. And they wanted to know what I thought about it. And I told them, employ the power of magic. And so I gave them something extremely similar to this. And for them, their impress them is, instead of trying to do all this talking to say, pick me, I'm the best candidate, listen to those people. Give them back your understanding of what they're saying. And what it really is you're connecting with them. When we connect with someone, they are willing and wanting to stay in that entrancement with us as long as possible, as long as we're impressing them. And so this is real life stuff that you can use. Any of us can use. And so you guys, magic is real. You can have it. It is free for anybody who dares to use it and practice it. So that's what I wanted to say about that today, JR. What do you think?
Very, very interesting and very true. People like for you to listen and feed back what they have told you in your words.
Yeah. And then you can get them to do anything. Like Freddie Mercury had 100,000 people waving their hands in the heat. just because he said it. Now, I don't know if I would have, because that would have been just too hot for me with all those little hot bodies. But, you know. So anyway, but that's what I wanted to say. And I know our time has swollen to the point where we have to move on. But thank you all so much for listening. And you know what? This is what I do want to ask. Give me feedback. Tell me how you're working your magic. That's what I want. Send in reviews and things. And I am starting to see people tagging on Twitter and stuff from listening to the show. Thank you so much for that as well. I forgot to give a shout out about that, but thank you. We do get a chance to see that stuff. So thanks.
Very cool, Michelle. So what do you have coming up for us next time?
Ooh, it gets even more woo-woo.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be talking about creating immortality.
I like the sounds of that, but I'm going to reserve judgment till after I hear it.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm excited. Yay.
I'm excited too. So we will be back in your earbuds next week as usual. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Michelle, for sharing your woo-woo with us.
Yay!
Hey, Michelle here again. If you like today's show, remember to go to iTunes and in the search bar, type Epic Story Lifestyle. And when you see me, hit that subscribe button. If you really like today's show, hey, come on, do me a solid by giving a rating and a review. If you've got questions, comments, or even show topics you'd like to hear me cover in the future, tell me about them when you leave that wonderful review. All right, my time is up and I thank you for yours. See you next time. Now go out, make some great decisions that give you that epic story lifestyle.
This is the podcastfactory.com.